I'm Angie. Welcome to RV 360 by National Indoor RV Centers, where we have all the details on the latest coaches. NIRVC is a trusted resource with RV lifestyle specialists who are here to help you find your dream coach. NIRVC also supports you well after the sale with storage, service, and detailing. So basically, we do it all. Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers, and today I'm so excited to show you the all-new 2026 Tiffin Allegro Bus. Now we're going to be going over the 45 OPP, which is our most popular floor plan today. You may have seen a little sneak peek of me doing this at the dealer meeting, but now we're going to go through it fully. I love helping you do your research by doing these detailed videos with you. But what I really like to do is sell motorhomes. So I want to help get you into the RV lifestyle as quickly as possible. And then we want customers for life. So we want to take care of you from the very beginning till the day that you decide you're done with the RV lifestyle. We want to make this a fun, enjoyable event. So make sure you give us a call, an opportunity to earn your business at National Indoor RV Centers. So another thing I hear is people watch the videos, but then they may not purchase with us because we're not in the same state that they live in. Well, these have wheels, so you can go anywhere you want. Plus, we have a fly to buy program at National Indoor RV Centers where I will fly you in, you and your significant other, in one way to pick up your coach, take delivery, spend a night or two with us as you get used to your coach. So really, we take care of all those little road bumps along the way. So make sure you give us a call. And then we have service centers across the country. So as you're out RVing, you can get to us for help. Now I'm going to break my video up into chapters. So if there's something that you want to jump ahead to, go right ahead and see that. Also, make sure you go back and watch the whole video just so that you don't miss any of the details. And then let me know if there's something I missed or if there's something that you'd like more information on. Leave me a comment. I'd be happy to hear back from you. And my videos will only get better as I get feedback back from you. Lastly, if you don't see what you're looking for in stock on our lots, when you're spending this much money, we are happy to do a custom order for you so you get exactly what you want. There's lots of options and different things that you can do on this coach. For example, the Allegro Bus you can get either in the 450 horsepower engine or jump up to the 605. That's just one of the many options that you can choose from. I'll try to go through the things that are optional and then standard, but make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. Our RV lifestyle specialist will help you walk you through that and make it super easy and fun. So something that's really exciting for 2026 is that now the Allegro Bus is built on the Powerglide by Freightliner chassis. So what happened is they took two great companies and married them together. So you got the Powerglide chassis built and developed by Tiffin, and then you have Freightliner, who are experts at building chassis because that's all they do. They build about 80% of the chassis for the RV industry. So now Tiffin is like, why don't we let the experts build our chassis? So you're getting the best of both worlds. So I really think that's key. As we go around this coach, I'll try to point out some of the features that you get with that Freightliner, the Powerglide by Freightliner chassis. I got to get my verbiage right here. But just one of the things, they do pack a lot of safety into this chassis. So you're going to have the lane departure system, you're going to have collision mitigation, adaptive cruise control, a lot of safety features built in to the chassis to keep you RVing longer and safer. So we're going to start at the very top here. We've got our 5 marker lights. Then you have your Tiffin badging, and that lights up at night, so it looks phenomenal. Then we have this gorgeous windshield. So I know that's obvious, but really that is what makes your trip exciting. When you're sitting in that captain's seat and you look at that huge window, you get to see the country through that. I can't tell you how many pilots we sell coaches to because they've seen the country from way up in the sky, but now they want to see it, front and center. And this is the best way to do it. So your trip really starts when you get behind that wheel. Now, in the center of the windshield, I mentioned that you've got your lane departure system that's going to give you an alert if you start to veer out of your lane. Some safety features built into that Mobileye, which is great. And then we've got our windshield wipers. Then we have our first camera here that's going to contribute to a 360 view when we get inside the coach at the dash, which is phenomenal. Makes you feel really safe and secure as you're heading down the road. And then we have the high performance LED headlights. These are intelligent headlights too, so that means you can have your brights on. They'll dim automatically as cars are approaching you. That makes it really easy when you're driving. Again, the Tiffin logo here in the center. And then this right here, a lot of people ask, is that where I put the front license plate? No, that is not. All the sensors and everything for your whole road watch package from Freightliner are behind here. So your collision mitigation, your headway warning, adaptive cruise control, all those things to keep you safely traveling along the road. I love the way that Tiffin mounts their windshield. It is automotively mounted, so it's nice and clean and looks sleek, not a big rubber gasket going around the windshield. Tiffin has also given us diamond shield across the front cap and in some of the high entrance areas or traffic areas like your front handlebar. But I love this because it's going to protect this gorgeous paint job that we have here. But I also recommend once you get to your campground, get out the garden hose, wash off that front cap. Not only does it make it just feel nicer and cleaner and prettier, it does protect it from a couple of those pesky bugs that still like to try to eat through the diamond shield, but they have given us that film to protect your paint job. So notice the blacked out exterior mirrors. They are internally controlled and heated. And then at the very, very top, they've got a camera in them. So that's going to give you that full view when you turn on your left and right blinkers down the side of the coach. And then we have our first marker light and turn signal indicator on the outside of that mirror. Check out the beautiful exterior graphics and paint by Tiffin. I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is the Generation 15 graphic package and then the waterfall exterior. Now, Tiffin does do full body paint and has 4 coats of clear, so that gives you that really beautiful finish. Now, this is the blacked out or onyx package. So you can see that all your door handles are blacked out. The trim at the bottom of the baggage doors is blacked out. Your rims are blacked out. And then the badging is all blacked out along with your exterior mirrors. They're blacked out. I think it looks really classy. You can also just black out the rims and nothing else if you just want the blacked out rims, or you can go with the standard chrome package. Whatever floats your boat, just give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. We're more than happy to walk you through all your options. We have the marker light for the passenger side, and then we go to our front door. First of all, it looks great. I love that we have a big window. We have the Girard entry door awning, and then we have the whole Girard package that I'll show you here shortly. But I do love that we have this little window here. So we have a little pet window, which is nice for our furry friends to watch along the way. But the other thing that's nice too is the driver can kind of look out that window too, see where they are in the parking space. Of course, they've got the 360 camera and everything else, but it's still nice to have that. Then we have the beautiful lit handlebar to help us safely get in and out. We have several ways that we can get in this coach. So we've got our key, we have our key fob, and then we have this panel here that has a code with it. So you can give that unique code to your family members, to a service technician, to give them access to the coach when you're away from it. So I really like that. And really what I like about it the most is I don't have to fumble around and find my stinking keys because they're always lost. They're kind of at the bottom of my big black purse that's like the Mary Poppins purse. So I love this, that I have a way to get in without having to look for the keys. So you have your screen here with security codes so that you can only give access to those you want. And then you can turn on your porch light, your door light, your road light, which is your security light on the driver's side of the coach, your master switch for your on and off lights. And then you've got your entry door awning, your entry door lock and unlock, and then your cargo bays lock and unlock. How handy is that to actually be outside? So when you go to open those doors and they're locked, you don't have to go inside the coach, it's right here. And then you can lock the screen. Then you can go to the light panel. So you can go to your main panel, which is going to be your entry lights, mainly your main lights inside the coach. I'm not going to walk you through all of those. You can even turn on and off the bedroom lights from out here. And then we have the exterior lights. which is most likely what you're going to use out here. So you can turn on that windshield accent, the big Tiffin logo. Turn that on and off from here. That looks great in a campground at night. Your door light, your road light, porch light. Under the coach lighting, we've got that on right now. It's bright outside, but it's blue, and so of course I love it, you know. And then under the slide box lighting here. Then you can also see your tank levels on your fresh, your gray, and your black, and your battery state of charge on both your chassis and house batteries. And then you've got your settings, so you can customize that screen and clean that screen. So here we have our gorgeous blacked out rims on this blackout package. These are the 315 Michelin tires. So nice big tires for your bus here. Now at National Indoor RV Centers, we are passionate about tire safety, so much so that our CEO, Brett Davis, and one of our customers, Rob Craig, who has been involved in military armament for his whole career, developed a product, it's a run flat device made specifically for RVs and for the weight of RVs. And let me tell you, watch the video. I think you'll be able to believe after that, but I can't tell you because I personally see coaches come in. I've seen coaches come in to get a tire replacement with, when they've had a front end blowout with RettroBand, and then some without. The difference is vast. And boy, the ones that have had RettroBand have been so grateful and thankful that they're alive. So it's just one of those things that not only protects your coach, but it protects your life. So I think it's a must, and I only like driving coaches that have RettroBand on them. So check out the beautiful dual pane bonded frameless windows. Plus, these are the gallery windows. This is a new option that you can get in the bus. This is going to give you more of that Zephyr-like feel when you're inside the bus. Bigger windows. It's a game changer for me. I love it. Now you get those big windows at a lower price point. I think you'll get it when you're inside and you see how lovely it is and how much it feels like you just have like this panoramic view of the outdoors. They're a game changer. Love them. So now it's a little sunny. I'm going to go ahead and I've grabbed my remote from inside for my Girard integrated Girard awnings. Those integrated awnings are great because they give you more of that bus-like look. So I'm going to go to channel 0 and then just hit the out button. That will bring both the front and the rear awning out together. Now, one of the things I like to talk about is awning safety. Awnings are great. The Girard awnings are game changers because they look fantastic. They provide a ton of shade. If you're out and around your coach, then have them out, use them. If you leave your coach or if you go inside for the night, make sure you bring those awnings in. We've got a gentle wind here today, but you know, yesterday when I was doing videos on another coach, had a similar kind of wind, and all of a sudden it just picked up right away. And I was a little bit nervous when those awnings were coming in. I couldn't get them in fast enough. Now these do have a wind sensor on them, a shake sensor, so they should retract themselves, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So just enjoy them when you're out here, but when you leave your coach or when you go inside for the night, make sure you bring those in. Now that I have them out, you can, I can turn on my LED lights, so that gives you a nice little setting. I can then go to my panel here. I can turn on my door light, my road light, my porch light, give a little bit more light for this side of the coach. So I do like that. And then we've got the under coach lighting. Hard to see right now. You can see there's a little bit of a blue hue. And then once I have my slide outs out, I also have the under the slide out lighting. So it really makes this a really cool atmosphere at night. Now that I've got my shade, I want a little drink or a nightcap, or maybe you want to have, you know, your nightly bowl of ice cream outside. So you can just open your refrigerator, freezer. I say both because you get to set the temperature. So if you want to use it just as, you know, drinks for tailgating, or if you want to use it for your nighttime snack of your Bluebell ice cream, you can do that too. This does come standard in the bus. Inside this compartment, you've got the controls for the Girard awnings. And then this is obviously where you plug in your freezer. And then it's on this little tray that extends nice and far. So when your slide rooms are out, you can still get into that tray. Now I've got our cooler. It's time for a little TV time. Look at that nice big 43-inch LG TV with the sound bar. And we also have the quick charge USB port here. And our TV comes out and swivels, even tilts just a little, just probably enough to get away from that glare of the sun. So that's a great little feature. You can see out here with the awnings out, TVs out, cooler, we are set. Here is our 150-gallon diesel fuel tank. You can fill it from the passenger side or the driver's side. So it's dual fill. Great feature. If you pull up and you have it pumping from both sides, you can fill it up as quickly as you can, your big truck. I think you're going to be really impressed when you see how big the storage compartment is on this coach. So we have optioned in the power tray here. I'm going to go ahead and extend it all the way. You can see how far this extends for the passenger side. It extends just as far on the driver's side. We've got our internal folding chairs for our dinette. But look how big this tray is. It's massive. And then it has the flip up here. So say this was a really heavy, cooler or tool chest, I can just slide it right off, which makes it a lot easier on your back for sure. So I mentioned how big this is. I just want you to know your entry is about 29 inches. The pass-through is nice and tall, 19 inches. That's probably one of the tallest pass-through compartments that I've measured. So you get a lot of space here. You even have a little space in between here. Now, the power is an option. Manual trays come standard. Or you can delete the trays if you want to have that extra space, because the trays do take away some of your storage. If you didn't have the tray, the tray is, let's see, from inside, there you go. The tray, the bottom of that tray, it's about 4.5 inches. So if you didn't have the tray at all, you'd have an extra 4.5 inches to the 19. You'd be at like 23.5 inches of pass-through space. And we've got the exterior ladder that Tiffin provides. And then you also get the induction cookware that Tiffin provides. So they think of everything. They're very generous. Tiffin has the Crane Composite Noble Select all composite exterior sidewalls. Makes for a really nice clean finish on your walls. So the doors are made out of the same material. They are super strong. So I can put all my weight on these doors for as long as I can hold myself up, but they don't even move. And then the other thing is you don't have to slam these doors, and I can't get used to it. So literally you just kind of push them, and like that's even more than I need to do. I just need to like barely get them that far and they shut. So really saves you on the shoulders. Passenger side security light. And then we have the high docking light. Took me a minute to figure that one out. So high docking light, super bright. Then you have your second camera that's going to contribute to that 360 bird's eye view. Right behind this panel is just service for technicians to get to the back of your refrigerator, freezer. That's really nice, so they don't have to pull that out, because that is one of the painful things about an RV is getting a technician to work on the refrigerator. So that's really nice that they give you that access. Next up is a smaller compartment, but you can see what you get when you have no slide tray in there. So I'm just gonna get in here. Now I can give you exact measurements. How about that? So your pass-through height, hey, my math was right on. It's at 23.5 inches of pass-through storage compartment, so that's really great. And then you have two 110 available outlets, and also your filter for your central vac is inside this, so you can also plug in here if you want to vacuum out your cargo compartments, or if you want to pull up your tow vehicle alongside the coach and vacuum it out, you can do that from right here. Inside this door is our, I'm guessing, well, it's probably our freshwater tank. You can see some of our tanks back here. I'm guessing freshwater just because right here is your gravity fill for your freshwater tank. So if you're boondocking or you're not connected to city water, you can put potable water in here. This is also where you can add tablets to help sanitize your freshwater tank. So that's right in there. Now, there's not much room here. I've seen people like put Velcro on this and then like put some like an extension cord in here. That's all you may have room for. Your freshwater tank is 100-gallon. Your gray water tank is 100-gallon, which is awesome. And then your black tank is 55 gallons. 2 marker lights. And then we have another huge compartment here. We've got our RV transfer switch surge guard protector. There are a ton of electronics in this coach, as you all know, and I like to have extra protection. So National Indoor RV Centers can wire another surge guard protector into this compartment. There's plenty of room here. Or you can put one at the end of your 50 amp shore power cord. Unfortunately, we just have to worry about, that could possibly be stolen. So I like the one that's hardwired into the coach, but the extra insurance is all worth it because this will protect you one time. I want to have that extra layer of insurance. And you're also going to see this little device here. You're probably wondering what this is. So this is part of the Pet Perks package. So there's a little surprise for you on the inside, but outside here, we've got, you can just connect this. So you can connect that so you can put your dog bowl for your food and your water here. And then you can also tether a leash to this. And this needs to be on your exterior checklist for when you go to break camp. I always recommend that you have a checklist for the outside of the coach and the inside of the coach. A lot of couples will divide that responsibility. Someone's always responsible for the outside, checking tire pressure, fluid levels, everything's disconnected. And then someone will have the inside checklist. Now, I have a checklist. It's probably not as thorough as a lot of yours, but it would give you something to work with. So if you want to check that out, just email me at Angie@NIRVC.com. I also have an RVing 101 series. So if you're new to RVing, I plan a trip. I head out on a trip from Atlanta to Louisiana, then Louisiana to Texas. And you can see me set up camp and then breakdown camp. So it might be helpful if you're new and just working to get into the lifestyle. It's a little starter video series for you. Here we have our passive steer tag axle or ultra steer tag axle. You can always tell if you've got a passive steer tag axle if you look at your tag and then look at your front axle. If they match, like they're both Audis, I liken them to belly buttons, then you've got a passive steer. So with the Freightliner Power Glide chassis, they call this the Ultra Steer. This is going to eliminate that tire scrub on your back tires when you're taking a tight turn. You also get the ZF independent front suspension. You get the custom tuned Coney shocks, the front sway bar, the V-Ride. All these things come standard on this Power Glide by Freightliner chassis. So really, all those things combined give you a great ride and drive. Then we have our DEF compartment here. So DEF is your diesel exhaust fluid. It does have a shelf life. It's good for about a year. It doesn't like heat and it doesn't like sunlight. So if you're buying it off the shelf at like a Walmart or an AutoZone and carrying it with you, just be aware of the expiration date. If you're getting it at the pump, you're going to be fine. Just kind of keep an eye on how long you've had that DEF in there. If you're not moving the coach very often, you don't want your DEF to crystallize and you don't want it to get gummy because then it will throw some bad engine codes. Last marker light for the passenger side of the coach, your exhaust for the engine. And then we have our chassis battery compartment here. So we have our Deutsch plug right here. That's going to be for the technicians at National Indoor RV Centers. They can plug into this and get diagnostics from your engine for repairs. Then you've got your battery disconnect for your chassis batteries. This is super important. If we are not lucky enough to have you as storage customers at one of our 5 locations where we store at least 300 coaches indoors, always plugged into 50 amp service, valet service, just give us a call. Let us know you want to pick up your coach ready to go. You don't have to winterize. A lot of bonuses to being a storage customer with us. If you are not storing with us and you're storing somewhere else and you're not plugged in, you've got to make sure all your battery disconnects are turned off. So your house battery disconnect, chassis battery disconnect, and your inverter. Otherwise, you're going to have parasitic draw and come back to a dead coach, which is never fun. Then you have your fuses for the back half of the coach and one 110 available outlet. And then you have your engine block heater on those cold days. If you need to do this, you know that you are too far north and you need to get further south, but you can plug that in right there to warm up the engine block. And then you've got a nice little storage compartment. That's great for a lot of the engine fluids that you need to carry with you. As I come around to the back cap, I love to look at that beautiful back cap. We've got the high spoiler with the marker lights. Then we've got the Tiffin logo, Allegro Bus. So right in the center of the top middle part of the cap, you've got your camera for your tow vehicle. And then right below that, you've got the camera that's going to contribute to that 360 bird's eye view. Then we have our high brake lights. So the bus has the L9 Cummins 450 horsepower diesel engine. Now you can also option up to the X15 Cummins 605 horsepower diesel engine if you want that upgrade. For the L9 and the 450 horsepower, you have 1250 pound-foot of torque. If you go up to the 605, you've got 1950 pound-foot of torque. You do have a 15,000 pound hitch, so what does that mean to you? That means that you're gonna have no problem towing your Chevy Suburban behind this, or any of the toys that you want to take with you, not a problem. Here's the brake sink for your tow vehicle. This is where you bleed off the moisture from your air suspension or brake sink. 7-way for your tow vehicle. And then you have the beautiful mud flap with the Allegro Bus on it. Here in the engine compartment, we've got the transmission dipstick and fill, the engine oil dipstick and fill, power steering fluid, fuel filter water separator, coolant, and then right inside here we have the air filter minder for the engine. So when the yellow line gets up to the red, it's time to change your air filter. And here is the engine air cleaner. So if you look at the very top side of the rear cap, you've got that vented area. That's where it's going to bring in the ambient air into the air cleaner and then into your engine. As I come around the driver's side of the coach, up high, we've got the ladder. So that's a standard feature. So we've got the telescoping ladder that just attaches right there. Then we have our marker light, our vent for our dryer, and then our compartment for our 50 amp shore power cord, which is a locked compartment. And you can thread that cord through here and then lock the door. Once you pull it out, plug it in, you can, like I said, thread it right through here. Then you can lock that compartment. And then we have the power retract rail. Like I said, the ladder comes standard this year. So we've got the telescoping ladder, which is really nice because it doesn't take up a lot of space. And then it's not a permanent fixture on your bus either. So it just looks better. So you just take it up one rung at a time. This is so handy. Then you can check out your roof. You know, you should be checking your seals on your roof at least once a year, or bring your coach to National NIRVC centers and we can do that for you. Line it up and secure it right there in the mount. And then you can just head right up to check out the roof. Then we have our side radiator. That is wonderful for the obvious reason because we can easily get to all of our engine fluids and servicing very easily from the rear of the coach. Side radiator is nice too because you bring in that ambient air from outside through these louvers here, which is cooler, so the fan doesn't have to work quite as hard. Otherwise it's coming up from that, you know, the air underneath the engine compartment's hot and dirty. Another thing that you want to do with your side radiator is once you get to the campground, if you already got that hose out to wash off your front windshield, go ahead and take it, but just put your thumb over it gently, rinse off the coils of your side radiator, just keep that clean and keep it working more efficiently. Then we have the depth fill for the driver's side of the coach. Now you may be wondering what this is here, because it's not a window, it's not a door, but actually it is a door. It's your optional emergency egress door. It comes off the back of the headrest where your master bed is. So I'll show you that when you get inside, but really nice safety feature. 2 marker lights. Then we have our 450 diesel Aqua Hot. That's going to be your on-demand hot water and your furnace. Above that, we've got the coolant for the Aqua Hot and the fuel filter for the Aqua Hot. And then we have our display monitor for our Aqua Hot. So right here is the exhaust for your Aqua Hot system. And then we have our nice redesigned wet bay. This looks awesome. I love how they've used the cutouts. That's never gonna go away. So everything's really easy to read. So we'll just start from the top here. We have the cable tripod here and the Internet Plus connection there. Our 2 110 outlets, our water pump, hot water valve, cold water valve. Then you've got your solar input here. If you want to bring a portable solar panel, you can just attach it here. Then you have your sea level 2 tank monitor, so you can check your battery, your freshwater tank, gray and black, water filter for the coach, a little holder for your sanitizer, hand sanitizer. Then you've got your power for your black tank and power for your gray tank. Your external shower, hot and cold. Your city water connection, so city water or tank fill. Then we have our water hose here, and we can just thread that right through there and then shut this compartment off to any critters. And they do have the power retract on that, which I love. Then we have the SantaCon system here. So we can thread that through right underneath the coach there and plug it in. And then you do have the power valves for the black and gray tank, but these are the T-bars. And then your water pump. And this is your tank heater temperature setting. You have your front cap shutoffs here and your front cap drain and your tank flush. Power for the macerator system. And then we've got our paper towel holder. So midship up top, we've got the high docking light, our bathroom window, then we have the driver's side security light, and then our final camera that's going to contribute to that 360 bird's eye view. Our pass-through compartment, our second pass-through compartment, and our final pass-through compartment. We have a few other things to talk about in this one. First of all, we have our 2800 Pure Sine inverter by Xantrex. And then we option in the 6 200-watt solar panels. So you've got your 2 30-amp solar charge controllers here for the solar panels, your inverter master disconnect, and then your house battery master disconnect, and you've got your breakers, and then your breaker legend here that correspond with all the breakers. Your high microwave vent here. Check out those big gallery windows from outside. Can't wait to show you the inside. And then we have our battery compartment here for our 6 AGM batteries, and they do slide out on this tray. Then we have the hydraulic pump and reservoir for our hydraulic jacks and slide rooms. And that's also on a tray, so you can pull that out for servicing. Fuel fill for the driver's side of the coach. Then we have our generator exhaust, so watch your legs if you've been running that. We have the fuses for the front half of the coach. We have a quick connect air line here and the air hose for the quick connect. And then up in the right corner, we've got our T-bar to release the front cap and generator compartment. And our last marker light for the driver's side of the coach. Right inside the front cap, we've got our wussy horn, and then we have our windshield wiper fluid, our 10,000 watt Awning generator. Right inside the panel, we have the dipstick for the oil fill, and then the oil fill. You can see the coolant reservoir, and you can see how full that is, and then the fill is right outside. Then we've got the breaker reset. If you pop your breaker, you're gonna have to pull over and reset it here. For the generator, you can start and stop the generator and see the generator hours. You have your hot and cold water connections here at the front generator compartment, and then right below there you can see the air horn, which I want to always make sure I have on. I love showing you the outside, but now I can't wait to show you the gorgeous inside. Let's go check it out. As I walk into the bus, there's a couple things I noticed right away. First of all, I love the stairwell. I know that sounds silly, but look at the extra detail that they put in their steps and the stairwell wall. I think it's gorgeous, and it's kind of the first thing you see when you walk into a coach, and so I think they did a really nice job of making it look elegant. We have a nice little storage drawer in our front steps, so we can keep pet leashes there, shoe covers, keys, just nice little cubby. Then I noticed that I've got this lit handlebar to easily get in and out of, and I've got another strong handlebar here. And we've got the little courtesy light, the stairwell light, so I'm going to be able to get safely in and out of the coach. Also notice that we've got the reinforced lower screen door, so for durability, I think that's important. Right inside the front door, we have another control panel, multiplex lighting panel. Not just lighting, but pretty much everything I went through outside, you can see here. So that's really handy, just inside the door. Then you have your house battery disconnect and your step off and on button. So once you get to your campground, you don't want your front step to go out every time the door opens and shuts. You just want it to stay out. So when I get to the campground, I go ahead and turn mine off. Right below that, we have the fire extinguisher. Now this is a 45-foot long coach. I don't think that one fire extinguisher is enough. So you need to check out Proteng. It's a fire suppression system. We sell it exclusively at National Indoor RV Centers. And so you're probably saying, oh, well, of course, she's going to pitch something that they sell exclusively. But the truth of the matter is that we only sell things that we truly, truly believe in. So go check out my video on Proteng, and we can give you a custom quote today. You can do it in specific areas of your coach, or you can do the overall coach. As I step into the cab part of the Allegro bus, it's just nice and roomy, and it feels very open. I think part of it is this the white linen cabinet uppers make it feel nice and open, but we do have lots of storage here. We did delete the overhead TV, so this way you can see, if you don't do that overhead TV, what storage you get. So let's go ahead and start here, because this is pretty important. Starlink internet is now standard on the bus. You have to, sign up for the service, of course, but it's great that that's already in the coach and ready to go. We also have two 110 available outlets, and then we have this satellite output, and then we have the control panel for our Girard awnings. Now you can snap that off. It just magnets back on so that you can take this outside if you want to control them from outside with the panel. You can turn on the lights here, lock and unlock, change the channel. Channel 0 brings out both awnings together. 1 is the first awning, 2 is the second awning, and then you've got the in, out, and the stop. JBL speaker for the cab area. 2 more available 110 outlets. Storage. More storage. You can see you get a little bit of storage, but not a ton. So if you're going back and forth on that overhead TV, this will help you decide. Vega Touch for the Eclipse app. That's how you can pair your phone to the Spider panel. And then we also have the plug-in for our Waggle camera, which is right here. So that's part of the Pet Perks package. So you'll have a little pet monitor inside your coach, and directions are there for the customer only, so I'm not going to open them. And then we've got 1 available 110 outlet, so we can plug in our Waggle camera right there. The top outlet does not work when the ignition is engaged. So if you did have that overhead TV here, you would be plugged into this if you wanted to see the TV, if you wanted the TV to not work while you're going down the road. Our second JBL speaker, more storage, and Tiffin has given us our little paint samples for the exterior paint color. Now I say go for it if you want to try to, touch up little spots, but it's harder than you think. You really should leave it to the experts. National Indoor RV Centers, our paint and body technicians are truly artists for the paint jobs that they do. We actually have paint bays for 45-foot long coaches. So most people don't have that. So we can make your coach look like new or even better if you happen to have a little boo-boo. Under the cabinet, we have the slide controls for the driver's side slide, and on the passenger side, we have the passenger side front slide. You do have to have the park brake set and the ignition on to operate the slide rooms. Welcome to the lovely interior of the 45 OPP. Now this is the Pacifica interior package, and it's paired with the linen white cabinets above and the black truffle cabinets below, and I think it's actually just really stunning. I love the light and brightness that the upper cabinets give you, and then the richness of the black truffle cabinets. Then it's paired with the industrial gray tile floor with a matte finish. It has this kind of a cool look to it. The beautiful rice paper leather lifestyle sofas, captain's chairs, theater seats. The whole package is beautiful, and I really love the subtle ceiling treatments, the fascia, everything is, every detail is there. And then we optioned in the gallery window package. So look at these massive windows, huge windows across from the theater seating, across from the sofa. I mean, it's kind of a game changer for me. It really makes you feel like you're in a Zephyr, a King Air, Cornerstone with those big windows. I absolutely love that. So that's one of the things that you can option in. Now you don't have to get the bigger windows. You can still get the cabinets above if that space is really important to you. We can still do that. So just make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. We can walk you through what is possible in this bus, but man, isn't it gorgeous? One of the things I always notice when I'm in a Tiffin is how big this room feels. Their slides are deeper, so it does feel bigger. Anyway, it just feels very spacious in here, and wanted to bring that to your attention. So I've turned the captain and the co-captain's chairs around. What's really nice about this is you get 2 more chairs in your family room area. And then what I really like about it is I just can sit back and put the footrest up, lean back that chair, and get nice and comfortable. And then the other thing, my husband and I are always fighting over the temperature. I'm sure that you all have had that problem too. Well, these chairs have the heated and cooled seats, so I can turn on my heated seat and he can have his cool AC going, and we're both going to be happy. So I love that. So right next to the co-pilot seat, we've got 2 cubbies. We can maybe put remotes in there. I'm not sure what's going to go there. And this is actually for when you're driving down the road, but I've got a wireless charging pad here too, which is really nice when I'm sitting in the co-captain seat turned around. We have the same compartments over on the driver's side. I like that we also get this little, end table for drinks. That's wonderful. So we optioned in the theater seating in front of that big, massive window. Now, right behind the theater seats, we have 2 110 outlets. And then to the right of the theater seats, we have another 2 110 outlets and our TV lift. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down. These are powered. After a long day. So you just can take them out. I'm going to go ahead and extend them the full way so you can see how comfortable these are. And you can adjust the back rest too. So for our taller or shorter friends, that might come in handy. And then we have USB charging ports in both controls. Our storage area, and that goes up underneath too. So you can even hide some items in there. And then we have our 2 cup holders. And we've got seat belts in both the theater seats. So you're gonna have seat belts for 6, 2 in the sofa, captain's chairs, and then the theater seats. Then right here, I can just go ahead and hit my TV lift. And then up comes my big, beautiful TV. So now I've extended the big 55-inch LG TV. How awesome is that? And I've got a sound bar above it. Love that. We're gonna have a great movie night here. And then to the side of the TV, I've got 2 110 outlets, 2 USB charging ports. And then when I'm not using those, I can just push them away. And that is one of the things I absolutely love. I love that when you walk into this coach, you don't see a bunch of outlets. They're tucked away, they're hidden. We've got beautiful wallboard, beautiful valances. Everything is just done really nicely. Okay, so it's time to get the bed ready for our guests. So you have a nice mattress plus the air bladder on the inside. And the great thing is, all you have to do is just plug it in and fill it up, and you can deflate it as well. Now into the beautiful dining room. We've got our nice fabric covered chairs. They look beautiful. And with this setup, the desk dinette, you get a nice buffet area here or working station. So check out all the storage underneath the table. We've got our subwoofer, and then we have a drawer here that we can make into a filing cabinet. We have the soft closed drawers, 2 shelves, and then a nice drawer on the other side. And then we have 2 USB charging ports on the left side, and on the right side we have 2 110 and 2 USB, and we have another control panel for our lights, our fan, our shades day and night, and our TV lift. And then we can adjust just the screen brightness here, and it's telling us where this is located, and we can go into cleaning mode. If you want to go from dinner to 2 to dinner to 4, it's just simple as pulling out the table, grabbing your 2 extra folding chairs. We've got them in our cargo bays, and then you got dinner for 4. So I really love the kitchen of the 45 OPP. Look at all of this solid surface, beautiful countertop. Absolutely love it. So let's go through storage first. We have the hand crafted, in-house built hardwood cherry cabinetry with the pull out. And we have the doggy bowls for the pet palace that I'll show you here shortly. Then right underneath that first cabinet, there's a little tab here. Just pull that down. Look at that, spot for your silverware. How awesome is that? I love it. And then it just tucks right back away and you don't even know it's there. Then we have our combo microwave, convection, air fryer, oven, and it's massive. That's a really nice and big box in there. And I love here that it gives you all the codes for what you need to do for, how to cook the vegetables, the popcorn, the soup, all the stuff. It's right there. Notice the cool handles here that we have on the cabinets. I love that. And another pull-out tray so you can get to everything, even the stuff that's in the very back. And you do have one 110 outlet available. And then we finally found our door with Bob Tiffin's name and signature on it. Love that. Love that he still does that. And then we have the pull-out tray, more storage above. And then look at that beautiful backsplash. Love the kitchen window. Love how it's finished out. And I love the backsplash. It looks very high-end and beautiful. We have our 110 outlet here. So 2 110 outlets, 2 USB charging ports, and then we have 2 more 110 outlets right above that. So notice how much counter space you have here. Then we have the induction cooktop, and Tiffin has been kind enough to include the cookware for the induction cooktop. So that's pretty cool. You'll love the induction cooktop. You can get to exact temperatures, heats up really fast, cools down really fast. So I love it. I think once you get used to it, you'll like it too. And then it's just a quick, easy cover up when you're done not using it. So let's check out some of the storage. Now, as if we didn't have enough counter space, Tiffin has given us more. So how great is that? Just a nice counter space here. This would be great for serving. If you have guests over, I really like that. And then we have nice big drawer, full extension, another big full extension drawer, and another. And that's where all of our remotes are hiding. And then soft close. So we optioned in the dishwasher. It's nice and deep. This is really big. This is a feature that a lot of people like. I do love that Tiffin mounts theirs high, so you don't have to go lean over too far to get everything in there. And then you've got a nice drawer below, full extension. And then below that, I see a little Pets Perks package coming up. So here are the spots for our doggy bowls. for their food and water. How cool is that? And then when we're done with it, you can just put them right away. Underneath the kitchen cabinets, we have 2 more 110 outlets and then 2 more in the corner. Again, you don't see them when you walk into the coach, so it just makes everything look nice and elegant and pretty. And we have another panel here for our water pump, the lights, fan, shades, and then settings. Residential faucet for our nice big huge 2-bowl sink. We've got our little soap dispenser, residential faucet, and it does have the cord here on it, so you can get to all those corners, which is really wonderful. Then we've got our flip down for all of our sponges and brushes. And then our nice big cabinet here, which pulls out. We have our garbage can. You're probably wondering what this is for. This is for the front little corner window here. It's the only window that you don't have a shade for, and it just fits right in there. So now you know where to store it. And then we've got the 2 drawers. I love that, the 2 levels, so that you can really optimize the use of your space there. And you have a space here for your sink covers. And then we have 4 more drawers, a little bit smaller, but I do like the drawers. Give you the opportunity to, you could even lay your spices in here and have them labeled. Be really handy to have them that way. One of my favorite features is a dustpan, so just scoot everything over and then suck it away. And you also have the central vac, so you can connect your hose here and go from the front to the rear of the coach and keep everything nice and tidy. Across from the kitchen, we've got our pantry. So we've got the locking shelves, push and pull, full extension, so you can get to everything. And below that, we have the wine cooler or drink cooler. You can set the temperature, and then it locks, which is great. And then we have the option for the wood panel refrigerator freezer, which I think looks nice. It just makes everything kind of flow here. Water and ice in the door. I know people love that. Huge refrigerator freezer. Love that stainless steel in the back. And the lock here, your travel lock. So make sure that you don't lose any of those contents while you're traveling. You want to make sure that lock is on. And then we have our freezer. Look how deep those containers are. And ice maker. Then we have 2 more little cubbies. All right, will you guys please comment and tell me what you're going to put in there, because I want to know. Right along with the beautiful ceiling treatment, we have our nice framed in kitchen fan. Here we have our midship half bath. So nice and roomy in here. Got the towel bar. Notice that they put the backsplash all the way up, so it's nice and high. Looks so great. And storage above. Medicine cabinet with the mirror. Great storage in there. More storage. Nice balanced window that opens. Porcelain toilet with the flush here. Toilet paper holder. We have another control panel for our lights, water pump, shades, fan, and we can check our tank levels from here and turn on our aqua hot electric or diesel. Solid surface countertop with sink, soap dispenser, and faucet. And then we have more storage below. We have enough room there for a little garbage can if we want, and more shelves. And notice the bathroom fan above. And we have 2 GFCI outlets. Here's our RV, CO, and propane gas alarm. And then we go straight up to our spider control panel. I love this. You can control so many of the functions of this, of the coach right here. And then you can go to your settings page, go to the mobile app, download the Eclipse app, and then you'll pair your phone to this, and then you can do a lot of those same functions off the app on your phone. So pretty cool. So I skipped ahead, but let's go back to our home button and get started. So on our home button, we're going to get the time. the temperature for each area, the rear, mid, and front of the coach. Then we're going to get the level of the chassis battery and house batteries. And we can see that we're plugged into shore power. Then we've got our auto gen start. We can start or stop it from here. And we've got our bedroom light, backlight. That will just turn off this panel completely and then just touch it to bring it back up. Our water pump we can turn on and off from here, and we can turn on our aqua hot diesel burner or electric burner. Then we have the full master lights for our lights on and off. And then we can go into our auto gen start settings here. So here's where we can start our auto gen start. Then we have the drive mode. So this, when you have this engaged, this will automatically turn off the AGS when you're driving, and then as soon as the key is cycled, it will turn it back on. Then we can go to easy setup for just an easy setup, quick. It's basically going to let you enable it, walk you through what it recommends. Or you can go into the manual setup. Now this is where you can be more precise with what your triggers are, your run times are, etc. So you can customize that to your liking. Then we have our tank levels for our fresh, gray, and black tank. Now we have the light controls, our front master control, our rear master control, and our exterior master control. So we can go to our main lights. You can see all the lights that you can control here. And if you want to dim lights, you can just hold it and change it. So anytime you see the dim, you know you can dim those lights, all the bedroom lights, and then all the exterior lights. Now we have our power page here, so you can see our solar chargers 1 and 2 and what they're bringing in. You can look at the house battery and chassis battery levels, and you can also see that we are plugged into shore power. We can go to our power settings here, and this is where we can get more information on our solar, our true state, our batteries, and our inverter and chargers. Then we've got our energy management system. It will shut the load as needed. It's letting know our charge amps and what we're bringing in. We're in an inverter. Our inverter is enabled, and we are in an absorb charge state right now. You can start and stop your generator from here and your auto gen. Then we go to our climate page. So it's going to give you the temperature and what it's set to in each room in the 3 different zones. So rear, mid, and front. You can turn on your AC here, your furnace here, your heat pump, your diesel burner, your electric, your preheat, and then we'll go to our settings in just a second here, but you can do that for your floor heat, adjust those, and your fans. Back to our zones here. You also have, you can just change the temperature with the dial, super easy. And then you can sync all 3 zones together with the sync button. You have your auto fan, low fan, and high fan. And you can go into your settings here, get more information on your aqua hot system, diagnostics, faults, and go back. Then we go to our slide room controls here. So here we can control the slides for the rear part of the coach, for the driver's side and the passenger side. And we have our awnings. We can extend our power window awnings here for outside. Our lifts and locks, so we can lock and unlock our bay doors, our entry door. And then this is the button where we have our bed lift. So the master bed is on a lift, and you do have to make sure that is up to bring in your slides. And then you also have the button here for your front TV lift. Then we go to our day shades and our night shades. So we have all the controls for the windows for our day and night shades. And then we're back to our settings page here. So we can customize the screen, set the time and date, pair to the app there, go to diagnostics and look at that. It's going to tell you if you have a fault, any of those places, which is pretty cool. Again, that's going to take you more information about your batteries. And then it's going to let you pick the theme Oh, and look, this is kind of fun. So you can name your coach so that on the panel outside and in here, you can put your family name. So I'm going to go ahead and put in Angie's. Let's see. Well, we'll just put Angie Morell. All right, except now it's officially my coach. I wish it was just that easy, right? You can change the units here, Fahrenheit or Celsius. Go to cleaning mode so you can wipe down this panel without engaging any of the buttons. System update, and it's going to give you the version, and it's also going to tell you if you ever don't remember what floor plan you bought, it's right there by Angie's coach. So welcome to the beautiful master bedroom of the 45 OPP. We have a privacy door here, and we just easily shut us off from the rest of the coach in the living room kitchen area. Then we come in, we have this beautiful king size bed on a bed lift. So I do kind of love the bed lift because how comfortable is it to sit in the bed and watch TV with the head raised just a little bit. And then it's just simple, go to your panel here. When you're ready to go to sleep, you just take that down. And then you've got your nice padded headrest there behind you. You can keep bringing it out, and guess what that does? It helps you make the bed. You don't have to force your whole body back there to get the mattress or the cover up around the corner. Look at this. I'm just gonna keep bringing it out until it doesn't stop, until it stops. So now I can take my cover and get it right where I want it. How easy of a bed is that to make? So probably one of my favorite features. Now, since I've got the bed out and you can see really well behind the bed, I'm going to talk about a few more things. So you have control panels on both sides of the bed. Now on your home screen, you've got your light controls, your fan controls, your bed lift. So that's really nice. You don't have to get out of bed to raise or lower the bed. And you can start and stop the generator. That's a biggie. I know a lot of people like that. Your master light on and off. Then more light controls. The power management system, you can see that here. And you can click into the energy management system. Your AC and heat controls. Your aqua hot diesel and electric, and then you can also do your entry door locks and your cargo door locks. So that's really nice to be able to do all that from your panels here in bed. And then you have the two 110 outlets. Windows that open on both sides of the bed so you can get that nice cross breeze. And then we have optioned in the emergency exit door. So check out that. Now I'm just gonna open this, the drawer will drop down, and the steps will all raise up so we can easily exit the coach. So you can see all the storage with all the doors open. You have space here, then a divider, and the two spaces there. You have two 110 outlets in each compartment. Across from the bed, we've optioned in the fireplace. So we've got a remote control, so it's really handy. You can just lay in bed, turn that fire on. You can change the color of the flame. And then you can also set the temperature, or you can just have no heat coming out. And you can also set a timer for it. So really kind of a fun little feature if you don't need that extra space. Then we also have 4 drawers. Nice size drawers. And then storage above. We've got our HDMI cable here. More cables there. 2 110 outlets, 2 110 outlets. Then we have our 50-inch LG TV for the bedroom. Nice big TV. Great storage. And then I love this huge dresser space that we have here. We also have an emergency exit window. Both these windows open as well. And then we have 2 USB charging ports, 2 110 outlets. As I walk into the master bathroom, there's a big difference here that I see that I don't see with a lot of other manufacturers. We have a full flat floor. So from the very front entrance After I step up the 2 steps, then it's flat floor all the way through from the bedroom to the master bathroom to the closet. So you just don't find that. And that's really nice when you're navigating these floors at night, heading to the bathroom. It's just, that's a huge bonus for me. So I do love it. And I do love the roominess of this bathroom. Then we have a privacy door right when we walk into the bathroom, so we can shut it off from the bedroom if you need to keep people sleeping in there. And then check out this shower. So beautiful solid surface shower walls with the inlay tile. It looks gorgeous, and I do love that we have a towel bar here and the lock. Again, this is one of those things that needs to be on your checklist. This is a 32 by 48 inch shower, so really nice and roomy. Again, I love that inlay. It looks beautiful. And we also have the cover for the skylight, so that gives us nice light, but we can cover it so it, you know, doesn't wake us up in the morning either. Then we have the fixed shower head and then the handheld. We have little cubbies here for our shampoos. So here is the shower miser. This is going to recycle your water till it's warm, and then once it's warm, this will light up, and then you turn the lever here and the water will come out the shower head. So that's a great feature. Ooh, I like this. So your soaps and your razors, great spot for that. And then you've got your flip down shower seat. Now check out that beautiful vanity there. I love this. Nice double bowl sinks. I call those the marriage savers. So you each have your own space. Plus, look at all that storage that you get behind the mirrors. I love that. And then the other thing I love about the mirrors, it's a great way to check to see if you have, you know, any snarls in the back of your hair. I had some, so it was a good time to check. And we've got the towel rings on both sides, 2 110 outlets on both sides, beautiful backsplash, and then the under the cabinet lighting, so it just looks really nice. And we have another panel here, so we can turn on our water pump, our ceiling lights, our fan, and we can check our tank levels and turn on our diesel burner and our electric burner. So if you are getting ready to take a shower, you want to make sure you hit that diesel burner on. That way you're going to have continuous hot water, no problem. If you're just washing your hands in the sink, you can probably just go with the electric. You also have the little soap dispenser, so that's one less thing on the counter. I like that. And then let's check out the space here. Lots of storage. So 2 drawers. Check that out. Then we have our porcelain toilet, push button controls, toilet paper holder. We've got access to the back of the toilet, plumbing there. Then we have a window that opens, and more storage, and our fantastic fan. Towel bar, and then we have a full-length mirror when we open up our closet or when we close our closet door. So this is, I think, one of the main reasons people love this floor plan. I love the walk-in closet. First of all, you have access to the entire rear of the coach for wardrobe and hanging. You've got the light here, the recessed shoe storage here. Here's your safe and 2 110 outlets. And then washer and dryer with storage above, more storage, adjustable shelves, and then you've got your breaker boxes. One, 2, 3, 4 drawers. So here we have the protected GFCI 2 110 outlets, the resettable breaker here for the bathroom outlets. Then we've got the resettable breakers for your 2 floor heats. Then we've got this nice counter space here, but then look at, I love that, like a little almost jewelry area. So I like that storage space. And more storage below. We've got the hoses for our central vac. And our air conditioner override, for some reason, if your spider panel isn't working or if you lose power to it, you can always turn your AC on right here, with the override. Now the override means that it's going to stay on until you turn it off here. It does not matter what you do at the panel. I always like to show the floor plan with the slides in so you can see what you have access to. You can sleep on your king size bed, but you would have the head lifted just a little bit. You do have full access to your bathroom, your half bath, and your refrigerator. Pantry. Now here in the dinette area, it does get a little bit tight. That's where we can talk to you about different options for the dinette if you want a little bit more of a walk space. But you can get through, you just have to shimmy through. And then you have plenty of space to walk through between the theater seats and the sofa. Finally, to the front cab area, I can't wait to show you this dash. It's amazing. It's all push button controls. But before we get there, let's go over the chairs. We have our comfortable chairs by Villa. We have our lumbar support here, and then our backrest adjust here, and the cool and the heated seats. And you have 3 levels on each. And then you just have off. Then we can adjust our seat forward, backwards, the front up and down, and the rear down and up. And then there's just a lever over to your left that you just lift up so that you can turn the chair into the living room. Here's our leveling system. So this is for our air and our jacks. So if we go to travel mode here, we can do high ride or low ride. Go to leveling, we can do air. Now on air leveling, we can manually level, or we can just do auto. We can do the same with jacks. We can manually level or just do auto. And then we can just go into travel mode. And then there's more. This is just your touchscreen controls, color, backlight, faults, etc. So I feel like I'm in a really fancy car cockpit or an airplane cockpit. I don't know what I am, but it's just, I think it's really beautiful. I love all the button controls, looks nice and sleek. And then we've got our great displays here that you can see easily going down the road, along with our panels over here and our cameras. You've got everything right here at your fingertips. Cup holder. So you've got the buttons, they're all lit up. Now the ones that have a different color, they're actually turned on. So right here we have the night shade up and down, solar shade up and down, window open and close, that's your tow window here. Then you've got your tag dump in auto. I'm going to keep it in auto almost 99% of the time. If you need to dump your tag, you push that button there. Then you've got your air horn on, so just on and off. I'm going to keep that on. Here's your ATC override. It's always in auto, so if you want to turn it off, you would just hold it down. Then you have your exterior mirror heat and your engine preheat. Here we have USB-C and USB charging port and a 12-volt charging port. And then we have storage below. Then we have our all-important battery boost button. So if you come back to your coach, you can't get the engine started, you want to go ahead and take your chassis batteries and house batteries, tie them together to get all the power that you can. Push that button, see if you can start your engine. If you can't, do your battery boost, start your generator, let that run for a while, and then try again. Wireless charging pad for your cell phone and holder, so that's real nice, and it does lift up, so it will accommodate larger phones. USB charging port, and you do have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Our controls for our exterior mirrors, and then our lights, so our auto lights, off, running lights, and then our headlights. Here's the Deutsch plug for the technicians at National Indoor RV Centers to plug in and get diagnostics off your coach. Then we have the pedal control here for our steering column, so we can move that up and down. Then we have the pedal control here, so we can move the pedals forward and back. And then once we get them where we want them, just lock them into place. Then we have our windshield wiper control, so we can turn them on and off from here, push in for the windshield wiper fluid, and then we've got our turn signals right and left, and we can flash our high beams or we can push back to leave our high beams on. And remember, you do have the auto high beams or the intelligent high beams. So this is our quick access button to our steering effort or power drive, which is new this year on the bus. So again, I can adjust the level. If I'm on the freeway, I'm going to keep it higher. If I'm in a parking lot, I'm going to take it down lower, and then you just lock it in and you go back. Then you're going to go to your home button. So I'm going to start with my gauges here, and then I can scroll through the different information that's available to me: oil pressure, coolant temperature, engine load, gear. Another way to get to the steering effort, you can see that it's locked in where I left it, but I can adjust it again. Fuel economy. Mobile eye. So this is your headway warning distance. So click in and you can say near, medium, or far. Intelligent high beams, enable or disable. And then your lane departure warning, disabled, low sensitivity or high. Road watch is your cruise control. You can change the following distance so that it will start to slow you down when you get too close to the car in front of you. So you can have it, near, far, or medium. Tire pressure monitor, which is going to give your tire pressure and your temperature in all your tires. Trip 1 information, Trip 2 information, vehicle settings. So you can Bluetooth your devices, your dash brightness, screen adjustment. Now I can move the screen up or down as needed. So if you're taller or shorter, you may need to do that. TPMS again, units of measurement. Then you have your diagnostics, so your faults, internal diagnostics, transmission, system information, and radar alignment. Our horn, and then we have our cruise control. So turn the cruise control on, set, resume, cancel, mute, answer a phone call, hang up a phone call, and then you can flash your marker lights. So say a trucker has flashed his lights to let you know it's safe for you to pull back into the lane, then you can just hit your marker lights 3 times to thank him. Our right paddle, we have our transmission controls, so drive, neutral, and reverse. And then we have our engine brake, so up is off. Then we have low, medium, and high. Love that. And then we can also manually shift from here. So if we want to manually shift, you push in 1 time, pull forward to shift up, push back to shift down, and then push in and hold to go into auto shifting. Right below that, we have our hazards. So just push in and out and push it again to turn them off. Our park brake, so pull to apply, push to release. Our ignition. Check out our great display screens here. We have our home screen here for our radio, media center, XM radio, Bluetooth. You can pair your phone to the coach, HDMI, and aux. So we have the HD cam. That's going to give us all the different views from our camera. So we have that 360 bird's eye view, where we can change to whatever we like. That's my favorite. Camera, iPod, nav. So you can put your destination in here. And then we've got our setup menu. So we can go to our systems, just customize the screen to our liking. Same with our video and our audio. Then we have our aux zone, and that's going to give power to the secondary monitor, or we can touch enable for the secondary monitor, which is over with Copilot, or say that you've got the grandkids sitting there, you might want to disable it. Then we have our quick buttons over here for our navigation, our camera, and then our favorites. So you have the driver fan, which is just above me, and it has like full speed and then like low speed and off. Your dash accent, so that's this backlit area around the dash, which looks really cool. Your step cover, extend and retract. I actually love it being by the captain's chair, so you can go ahead and extend that. Then you have your front solar shade up and down, or day shade, and then your night shade up and down. You can turn your generator on and off from here. Your map light, which is right above me, your docking lights. So we have the radio camera button. That's pretty cool because now you can have your coach off and then play your radio in the house. And you can also throw your cameras up on the screen without the ignition being on. Then we have our HVAC controls here. So cold and hot, the speed of the fan and the direction. And then we have two little cubby compartments here. So here in the co-captain's chair, I'm really comfortable. I'm ready to be here and take a little nap. I do love this because we do have the power footrest. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick back and relax. And then I have my passenger monitor here. We can just go through the different items, the camera, different cameras, aux, HDMI, the radio controls, navigation. You can dim and brighten the screen. You can just go to the quick camera button. So here's your panel to the side. You can control some of your light here, your map light, and then some of your exterior lights, your windshield, accent, Tiffin logo on the front, and you can extend and retract the step cover, the entry shade, passenger shade, and night. Now this is where you can enable your security system by scrolling over there. And then we have the fan controls, more lighting controls, power, climate control, lock the entry door and the bay doors and unlock them, and then your settings. Two cup holders, and then our wireless charging pad. And again, we can extend that to hold our phones. And then we have a nice little storage compartment below. Then right in front of the co-captain, you have two 110 outlets. All right, so it's time for my favorite time. Well, I love all the times. I love showing you the inside, but now I really love taking you for a test drive. And that's really important. That's one of those things that will help you know for sure if you picked the right coach. So come to National Land RV Centers. We'll help you figure out what you're looking for, and you can always test drive. So I'm gonna get ready to go here. I'm going to release my parking brake, and then I put it into drive. Everything's right here on the steering column for me, so I really love that with the Freightliner chassis. Then I've got my great cameras here, so I've got my 360 bird's eye view. I didn't park crooked, folks. That's just because I was doing the video. So now you can all judge how I pull out of here, because that 360 camera really, now once I turn on my turn signal, I get down the whole right side of the coach, and then I've got my 360 view here, so I can totally see how I'm doing. If you are nervous about driving a Class A diesel, you shouldn't be. My very first trip I had to take, they made me drive from the dealership in Dallas, or Louisville, to Dallas. I was white knuckling it the whole way, and I was like, what am I doing? But you know what? It doesn't take long before you get really comfortable. You just have to realize that you fit in the lane. Your turning point is behind you. So it's actually the center of your front axle. And then you just have to kind of use your mirrors really well to just watch how you're staying in your lane. And you want to hug the left side of the lane that you're traveling in. So most bad things happen on your right. So you just always want to hug the left side of the lane. Don't stay in the left lane or you'll get in trouble. And everyone will be emailing me. But these are so much fun to drive. I'm not pulling your leg. It really makes the trip because you get to enjoy the whole picturesque scene as you're going down the road. And I've got the heated and cooled seats, so even if things get a little stressful, I can just put on that cool seat and cools you right down. So one of the things I love is this engine brake. So I can just throw it on at any point when I take my foot off the brake, it's gonna automatically start braking and slowing me down. So now we are on the freeway. I'm gonna get up to speed here, and I'm going to set my cruise control at 65. You can hear my little lane departure detection now. I've set my cruise control. I'm gonna take my foot off the accelerator, sit back and enjoy the ride. Now, another feature that I absolutely love is the power drive. So that's brand new for Tiffin for 2026. If you've heard of other terms, you may have heard it called comfort drive, easy steer. It's the same product. Now Tiffin has added it to their coaches. So power drive, I can go to my quick button here, and I like to keep that steering up high because I want the fill to be tight. So it's just easier when I'm driving on the freeway. The other thing that it does is if there's a strong wind pushing against the coach, this is a big, long wall. So you're going to get a lot of wind resistance. It's going to detect that wind and then automatically adjust for it slightly, or camber to the road. So it just makes driving this coach much easier. You shouldn't have a lot of tension in your shoulders. And then we've got the adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation, so I can adjust my the following distance from the cars in front of me, that it will automatically start to slow me down if I get too close to them. Just lots of safety features. As I'm exiting the freeway, I've got a tight turn coming up, and you're going to see how well the Freightliner chassis handles on these curves. Feel like I'm just driving a big sports car with a house on it. So if you know me, we always do the decibel reader, 65.9 for the Allegro bus. So it's nice and quiet. I do have, like I said, there's quite a bit of wind today, and I'm catching a little bit more wind going this direction, so that may have bumped it up just a little bit, but it's very quiet. I've got the AC running. Still very enjoyable ride. Talk to my co-pilot, no problem. So I want you to mark your calendars for end of May, 1st of June. We have the Music City Motorhome Expo. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, actually in Lebanon, at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. And it's a show like no other. It's exclusive to National Indoor RV Centers. We got the manufacturers to agree to debut their 2026 or their new model year coaches. So the customers that choose to come to the event get to see the brand new model year coaches. They can test drive any coach on display, which is huge. You can't do that at any other show. We want you to be able to make your best buying decision. So we also ask the manufacturers to bring along their engineers, product designers. Along with that, you get amazing entertainment. This year it's Sarah Evans and Scotty McQuarrie. Last year it was Diamond Rio and Josh Turner. All your food and drink is covered while you're at the event. So it's just an amazing event. It's a capped attendance, so there'll never be huge crowds. We want you to be able to have like a VIP shopping experience where you can sit back, relax, test drive, and make your buying decision. If you want more information on it, please go to musiccitymotorhomeexpo.com. And the huge bonus to it is that your ticket price to attend is refunded and applied to your deal when you buy a coach from National Indoor RV Centers from the time of the event till the next year. So for a full year, you will get that ticket price reimbursed. So basically, it costs you absolutely nothing to attend and make your best buying decision in a fun environment with great customers and people that are all doing the same thing, trying to make that best decision for them and entering the RV lifestyle, or upgrading to the RV lifestyle, or maybe downsizing in the RV lifestyle. Lots of options. So occasionally I have customers that say, we don't have friends that we can travel with. We love our bus, but we're not sure, where to go, what to do. So I can solve that for you. All you have to do is come to one AIM rally. You're going to have friends after that. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to stay in a beautiful park and have very unique experiences that are in that local area. and unique to that area. It's wonderful. It's like a cruise in your coach. And guess what? When you purchase from National Indoor RV Centers, we cover your first year dues. So that will give you some service discounts. It will also give you access to register for the rallies, which are phenomenal. I've never been to a rally that's better than ours. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. Our events team does a great job. So if you'd like more information on the AIM Club, please visit aimclub.org. Okay, so now I'm going to take my foot off the accelerator. I've got the engine brake on and it's right here. It's so easy to just throw it on. I just put it on high. I'm getting ready to turn back into National Indoor RV Centers. I still don't have my foot on the brake and it's almost bringing me to a stop. I'm gonna go ahead and stop so I don't miss my turn here. But that engine brake is awesome. I always like to have it on at least low, just so you have that extra braking power. And if you want it on high, you just throw that paddle down all the way. It's right here in front of you. Your eyes never have to leave, looking forward in the road. So it's a great feature. I love that on the Freightliner chassis. I hope you've enjoyed my tour today of the 2026 Tiffin Allegro Bus 45 OPP. Now I'm sure you're wondering how much this gorgeous coach would cost you. Well, current MSRP is $808,668. Now never pay MSRP, and always remember, with our volume and economies of scale, RVs simply cost less at National Indoor RV Centers. And we want to make the buying process super easy. We do financing. You can finance these for 20 years. We take in trades, we do consignment, whatever we can do to help you get into the RV lifestyle quicker, sooner, faster, because you're going to love it. And I promise you, it's the fountain of youth. It keeps you having new adventures and seeing new things. You'll love it. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. Also check out our ceramic coat video, our collision video, and our AIM Club. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.